I have made a decision regarding running for president, and it will affect this television program. But first, is this the face of a president? Is this, well, here, go to this camera. Is this presidential material for a face? My eye is red today because I scratched my lens. It's killing me. So it's a bizarre day for me to make this decision. And for those of you who are not familiar with my past in politics, I ran for president against Obama in 2012 in a few states in the primary, just to be a fly in the ointment. And I actually beat him in 14 counties in Oklahoma. All right? So for those who think that I'm not able to run a campaign or that I don't have a message that's worth hearing, remember that. I beat a sitting president. The entire panhandle of Oklahoma voted for me for president over Obama in the 2012 Democrat primary. So, because I did well in 2012, I've been pondering running again, either as a Democrat or Republican, and I've made up my mind. I will not run. I regret those of you who want me to run. I would like to, but I can't because my wife won't let me. She doesn't want me to run. We have a child who's sick, and I would have to give up the TV show. That's why I said it will affect the TV show. And I don't want to give up this show for the little good that it does, or maybe the big good that it does with a few people. I will continue to broadcast. I'll continue to look at the other candidates, continue to discuss Iran, Donald Trump, all of what's going on in the news from a distinctly Christian perspective, without apology, without compromise, and seeking no quarter from my enemies, from our enemies. All right, was that fun? Did I do that okay? I didn't want to be too cheeky. You know, everyone's running for president nowadays. Let's look at the list right now, and I'm going to tell you who I think is good and not good, because since I'm not running, I might as well determine some of the good guys, the bad guys. All right, let's go. I'm going to skip some people because there's, I don't know, there's like 20-something people who've announced. Some of them I've never heard of. And, you know, like 2000 declared presidential candidate, I'm not making this up. His name is Michael Bickelmeyer. And when it says what you do for a living or who you are, like former governor or a current senator or whatever, his line is creative dreamer. I'm just not going to put his face up, all right? Look at Michael Bickelmeyer. Michael, this is your claim to fame. You are a creative dreamer, and I respect that. I just don't know that I would put that as what qualifies me to be president. What if he's an uncreative dreamer? What if his dreams are boring? All right, anyway, let's look. Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush is not a good man, all right? Jeb Bush let Terry Schiavo die. Let her be starved to death in broad daylight. Jeb Bush, his response to the Supreme Court in the Obergefell decision, the homosexual marriage decision, was pathetic, okay? His reaction and his response to illegal immigration is pathetic. And another reason that I loathe him as a candidate, you ready for this? It's because the establishment loves him and because the media loves him. The New York Times wants him to be the candidate. Any Republican candidate that the New York Times would like to be a candidate for president, no, not our friend. Remember that, friends. All right, Dr. Ben Carson. He, by the way, Alan Keyes, thank you, Dr. Keyes. Alan Keyes squared me away that Dr. Carson is not a true pro-lifer. Let me just say it, and then I'll move on. Dr. Keyes is not running for president. I'm sorry, Dr. Carson is not running for president. He's running for Surgeon General. Mark my words. If a Republican gets the election. All right, let's go on to Christie. Chris Christie, governor of New Jersey. Don't like him, don't trust him. He's establishment. He is flip-flops all over the place with the killing of babies and with the dignity of marriage, the sacrament of marriage. Don't trust him, don't like him. Ted Cruze. Oh, now you're going somewhere. Ted Cruze has resisted the establishment in D.C. By the way, are you keeping the clock today? Are you going to tell me when it's time for it? All right. We're doing this live, by the way. This is live to tape. There's no editing going on here. So Ted Cruze, you know what? I'm going to tell you why I like Ted Cruze. Ready? He's got the right enemies. Ted Cruze has the right enemies. And who do they include? The Republican establishment. The leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell, the leader of the House, John Boehner, they don't like him because he won't bow down to them. He won't toe the line. He resists. He speaks what he believes. Now, I'm going to tell you the problem with Ted Cruze. Ready? It's a big one. He's talking about changing the Constitution so that he can have Supreme Court judges not have a lifetime appointment, maybe even elect them. But Senator Cruze, you've got a constitutional way to get these judges out of office right now. It's called impeachment, Mr. Senator. Impeach them. Bring articles of impeachment to the Senate floor, Ted Cruze. Come on. You know it's the right thing to do.
You have two choices. I mean, you can try to raise your children by design, or you will raise them by default. There are no perfect parents. We're going to get it wrong sometimes. If we have a plan, we've got a better chance of getting it right in the long run.
There is something deep within the heart of every human being that longs for parental acceptance and approval. When does a boy become a man?
Get a group of guys around and ask them that question.
I don't think there's a certain age. Some men stay boys their whole life.
I would say, 16, 18 years old.
Wow, that's a good question.
When they get bar mitzvah.
Well, I think when he has a child. So I just became at 56, 56 years old.
Without the power of the Holy Spirit changing us and giving us power over our sin, we can't hope to be the dads that our kids need us to be.